Hi, everybody. Matt here from Matt Likes Comics. This is my weekly top 10 video in response to Comic Collector Geek, his top 10 speculation. Now, mine is slightly different. These are books that I feel are undervalued and should be valued more because there's a couple that are wishful thinking. The rest are books that I legitimately think are undervalued, and I'll give you a brief explanation why. Okay? This is Black Orchid. Sorry, this is Adventure Comics 428, the first appearance of Black Orchid. And the reason I feel that it is undervalued is because the new Suicide Squad or Justice League Dark, I've heard rumors for both, is going to include Black Orchid, who has yet to be on camera. So I would like to see that, and I think that this book will go up when that happens. And I think that it'd be a good thing if it does because I really like the character. I bought a lot of her appearances, and I think she's awesome. Next up, one of several books I'm surprised is undervalued as it is, especially since someone is getting a movie. This is Adventure Comics 381, the first solo book of Supergirl, and it is severely undervalued for a book of this nature for such a major character. Um, I suggest you get your hands on it because not only is this book the first appearance of Supergirl in her only in a book that's just her own, but it is the first time Batgirl and Supergirl work together in a comic book that isn't a mixoplitic Batmite combo, and it's within the top within the first 10 appearances of Batgirl as well. So Adventure Comics 381. If you can pick up a copy for cheap, I suggest you do so. I paid $24 for this copy. The last time I checked, it was worth $50, but it should still be worth more. I really think it's going to explode soon. Kind of like Supergirl #1 and, of course, Action Comics 252, which has already gone through the roof. The next book that I think is kind of undervalued for what it is Action Comics 419. It is a good price, don't get me wrong, but I think that should be worth more than it is. It's a Neil Adams cover. It is one of his most iconic covers, and I'm really, really surprised that it isn't worth more. So again, if you can get this for cheap, go for it and hold on to it. Next up, I have Adventure Comics 317, which is the first appearance of Dream Girl, which I am surprised is not worth more than it is, considering Dreamer has made her debut and, by what I understand, is a popular character. And Dream Girl has always been one of the more popular Legionnaires. It's worth a few dollars, don't get me wrong, but it's not worth the dollars I think it should be. Again, if you can get a cheap copy, do so. Here's a book that I think is going to actually explode a little bit for a modern Superman book. This came out a few weeks ago. This is Superman 19. And the reason I think it's going to explode is there's a return of a character in there who's come back like another character, and I think that it's a plot that may end up in a movie or a cartoon, and as a result, I think this book is going to take a jump. Superman 19 of the current series. This one really surprises me because I would consider this DC horror, and it's a first appearance. This is a first appearance of Frankenstein in the DC universe. Phantom Stranger 23. And it is low. This is so undervalued. I can't believe it. This book should be in the $50 to $100 range. Instead, it's about $30. So if you want to have a bargain that has a good shot of going up in the future, this book is one of them you should get. Next up is one that I picked up recently and was shocked to see that it wasn't worth more. Considering how this particular run is starting to pick up, almost all the issues, the first 50 issues, coupled with some of the 50 to 100 issues, are really starting to climb slowly. This is Superman's girlfriend, Lois Lane. Lois is developing her own popularity that seems to be driving the book. Other than the Catwoman book, the first book, and a couple of other early ones where she has some key appearances, plus the one, of course, where she takes on the African American skin. Those ones are all worth a bit. But now, second tier ones like this are starting to slowly rise. This is, in this condition, about a $20 to $25 book in Canada. I don't know what that would translate to in American money right now, but I think it's going to double in the next 2 years. That's it for the DC. Not quite. Sorry, I've got one more, but that's the last one of the last ones. This here is definitely undervalued. The first appearance of Buffy the Vampire Slayer in comics. Dark Horse Presents Annual 1998. This one should at least be double what it's worth. And if what I hear is going to happen comes true, that there's going to be a new Buffy series that has Sarah Michelle Gellar as the older Buffy, this may make a comeback again. So if you can get your hands on one, please do. You may find yourself with a decent book later. Next up is another book that came out recently, but because of the cover and who's on it, I think has a chance to become a pretty good $20 book in the next couple of years. And that is Jackpot and the Black Cat #1. Adam Hughes cover, two very popular characters. When I bought it, it was already above cover price. And that was only 2 months after it came out. So, I have a feeling that this is going to go up further the longer we go. It'd probably be a $20 book within 2 or 3 years. Maybe even a $50 book, depending on the scarcity and how much if Black Cat gets used in a movie or something to that effect. My last DC book. This is book number 10, but we're going to have a bonus book. So this is book number 10. I think it's a sleeper because I have a feeling James Gunn is just weird enough to do this. This is Superman's girlfriend, Lois Lane 54, the first appearance of Herco. Herco is awesome. Herco needs to be in a cartoon or a movie. Herco is great. You must buy this book regardless. I got this in a trade with my friend Alan, the comic collector geek, and I'm so glad I did because I saw that this book was reaching $30 points. Herco is one of those quiet favorites that you'd be surprised how many people know about and how many people like. So this is a sleeper pick. This may end up being worth one of those weird, how did this comic become popular things? But I recommend you get this book. And the bonus book. Well, I've heard a lot of people have gotten this one already based on an earlier recommendation. I'm going to make that recommendation again. And I'm being very serious because this book could end up on the Hot 10. This is the Ferret one-shot. Several people have told me that they've gotten this book based on earlier recommendations. And I have a feeling that if we keep talking about it online and keep showing it, it might actually get some traction. And this might end up coming out of dollar bins, people. Remember, if this goes up to $2 and you bought it for $1, that's a 100% rise in price. Anyway, those are my books for this week. If you liked what you saw, hit like, subscribe, and comment below. I do want to see comments on any books you have, do not have, and would like, or you think are completely ridiculous and I should have my head examined. Anyway, my name's Matt, and I like comics, and I hope you do too.